Hi there, I'm Chris Dyer, and this is the third video in a series for Napoleon Hill certification. And today's video, the discussion will be about imagination and using our higher faculties. And this is actually I have many favorite chapters from the Think and Grow Rich and just from the Napoleon Hill studies in general. We've talked about Think and Grow Rich. We've talked about the science of personal achievement, also how to sell your way through life. And those are the three productions that have been very instrumental, at least in the last several months, to help me organize my thoughts, my specialized knowledge, and also understanding the higher intelligence and the gifts. And tying in earlier works with Bob Proctor and the additional 6 higher faculties that we all have within us, that when when we learn to expand the way we think, that we create the results. And in the Napoleon Hill teaching actually blends very nicely with the teachings of Bob Proctor as well. But imagination is being able to use creativity. And I like to say creativity is the highest form of self-expression. And when we are trying to come up with new thoughts and ideas, Napoleon Hill refers to 2 different types of imagination. Synthetic being it's a collaboration of existing ideas and formulating a new and different idea from something that already exists. And then the creative imagination, which is the highest form of intelligence, is being able to receive a download, to be able to have a direct line to your infinite intelligence to create something that has never been created before. We talk about thought energy. That is the potential energy. And then we get those downloads when we are operating at the highest level of vibration within our body. And the beautiful thing that this works for with me is being able to teach people how to actually activate those higher levels of imagination and their higher intelligence by using their body and their brain to creating movement in the body and creating states of health, which actually creates a higher vibration. So it's a self-perpetuating wheel that we can create with how we treat ourselves and give the body what it needs. And here he says that the conscious mind vibrates at a rapid rate. And so when we are operating at our best, treating our bodies like the miracles that they truly are, and giving them the time and the intention to heal and repair and to thrive and to positively engage them in activities that are going to improve stamina, improve resilience. We actually can create these states within our body by the time and attention we give to it. And it's a practice that happens most days of the week in small doses. It doesn't have to be 90-minute crash courses spent in the gym. It could be in the small things that we do from day to day, walking, doing yoga, dancing, working out in the yard, working out in the garden. So I love incorporating the word of movement instead of even exercise. That actually entices, inspires people to want to engage in healthy new habits when we give them something that activates their imagination and creativity. And using language is a creative means to invite people to create a change in themselves. So it's actually learning how to speak to people in their own language, which I find is one of my intuitive ways of working with people. But the great leaders in business have always been the creatives, the scientists, the artists, the poets, the writers, the people that are drawn into music. And it's because they are able to actualize higher levels of their intellect and their intelligence into the creative processes, into designing new products, designing and creating solutions, to being able to see their way through or on the outside of a situation. And we like to look at our challenges as opportunities. And that's, again, the mind of a creative or someone who has a high control of their imagination and being able to utilize that. But desire is impulse. It must be tended and watered with correct habits and actions. So when we talk about how do we instill higher sense of imagination, it's everybody is born with it. And I believe, again, this is going back to a previous video, we have become, as a human species, very distracted, very attached to technology, and actually distracted and disconnected from ourselves. And so we've forgotten how to use our creativity to create and be and do who we were intentionally meant to be. And I believe that when we can reconnect with ourselves and to quieting the noises around us, we have an opportunity to listen and to receive downloads. And that's where new ideas come from. You know, everything that's already been created has been created by some other form of infinite intelligence, and then it just keeps getting recreated into computer programs. Nothing new will ever be created until it comes from here first, and we create it ourselves. Um, you know, imagination, he says, Napoleon Hill says, imagination becomes weak through inaction and becomes stronger through use and minimizing distractions. And I have a term that I like to use. It's called action distraction. And these are all the things like using technology, being on the computer, you know, sitting on the couch and, you know, watching hours of content, movies, entertainment. We can either be entertained or we can be inspired and actually create something. We can be a consumer, we can be a conscious creator, or we can be an unconscious consumer. And I think there's a very important distinction there. When somebody's made aware of these the two basic choices, now I get to choose a different decision. Well, I don't want to be just a consumer. I don't want to be the always one spending my time and my resources making somebody else rich, or you know, giving into, you know, companies that are making money off of my problems or my pain. When I become the conscious creator, I get to utilize my imagination and really think through what the solutions are that I can and have more control and license over, instead of looking outside of me to solve a problem. The solution is actually within when we give ourselves that opportunity and treat ourselves and use the mind and the body to activate that higher vibration that allows us to be more creative and use that imagination. So I love the combination here with Napoleon Hill of science and spiritual laws. The spiritual laws are fact. It's like physics. It's like the universal laws that are out there. And what's interesting is this information isn't actually new information. Napoleon Hill has been able to glean it from other many mentors and guides in his experience in those 25 years that he was pulling all this information together. But you know, early philosophers also had a great handle on describing human mastery, mastering our mind over our so-called problems or challenges, and being able to create the solutions from within. So I love actually going back and studying earlier philosophers and science, and really seeing how congruent it is, and with the stories and the allegories and all the metaphors out there, even in our lyrics and our music, it's all been done before. And so when we can take that knowledge and information and we can glean something different from it, we can actually apply part of our story, our lived experience, our higher intelligence and imagination, and in fact create something new, which is actually what I've done. And I firmly believe that with the use of higher intelligence and imagination, everybody has $100 million idea within them. I have mine. I'm working on the law of gestation, not worrying about the how it's going to happen, just trusting that it's already done. It's been created within my imagination. My due diligence is beginning to put those steps into action and attracting in the people meant for me to help starting to bring this in the physical dimension. But you know, a part of that also is when we want to create abundance is realizing the abundance is already within us. But you know, Napoleon Hill also talks about, particularly with the story of the pastor, he had $1 million idea. He wanted to bring in and attract $1 million, and it took him 2 years to come up with that idea. And then he came up with the idea, and then he acted on it very quickly. But it's about creating a bigger why. And you know, in the past, you know, I was able to create a lot of abundance based on a healthy work ethic and a can-do attitude. And it had a purpose to take care of my family, put a roof over their head, allowed me to be a work-at-home mom, paid for colleges, paid for weddings, all the things. And now that I'm in this new phase of my life and having repaired a lot of damage from life situations and cleaning up my own processes, my own cleaning up my energy and emotions and things that I have been carrying with me, still living in the past. Now I understand what limitless potential really is. That is the ultimate confidence that we can think and think our way through anything and create that $100 million idea. And I want that for everyone. When you know that within your soul and your spirit, no one, nothing can take that from you. And I believe that's exactly what Napoleon Hill is trying to teach us all, that we all have that within us. But, ideas can be sold where merchandise cannot. So when we talk about our $100 million ideas, well, now people on the internet, they're selling ideas, they're selling courses, they're selling information and knowledge, and they're cleaning up. They're making bank. I have a feeling and have an idea where I can take my $100 million idea and create products in addition to courses and teach people how to also do this for themselves and truly create additional abundance outside of what they already possess. So first it's teaching it within themselves, and then they can self-express and create more of that in the tangible fashion and bring amazing service and serve a lot of people and create social impact. So I aspire to be, a lifestyle legacy leader and teach people how to create a legacy for themselves. How do they want to be remembered? How do they want to create social impact? How do they want to have that lifestyle where they can be and do and have a pain-free lifestyle and be able to enjoy the time abundance and freedom, and to be able to do that and take people with them that they love and care about. But also, it's a leadership style. It's self-mastery, it's self-leadership first before we can teach it and model it to others. But he also mentions about a book that was written and somebody wasn't realizing success with the contents of the book. And so what he was able to do was just change the title on the cover of that book and then reap in millions. So in essence, we are all, again, carrying around these $100 million ideas. It's learning how to enhance what we already know about ourselves, optimize and maximize the potential that we already have, and maybe we market it with a different title, and then we bring that abundance in. So thank you again. I'm Chris Dyer. It's been a real joy being on this journey, and I look forward to serving thousands of people and delivering this information using my specialized knowledge and honestly 10 million lives healthier, whether it's body, mind, and spirit. So thank you very much.